So in this tutorial we are going to cover the basics of creating a terrain in Unity 3D. You can see I have a first person controller in the map, but that's so I can walk around on the terrain and show you guys it. First thing you want to do is create terrain, and now you have a terrain, and we're going to need something to light that up. Go to game object, create other, directional light. Alright, so now we should add a texture to the terrain. Go to the brush icon under terrain, edit textures, add textures, and then select the texture. And I'm just gonna take the basic one that I always take. And just before you move any further and disrupt it because you can't find any of the textures I just found, it's probably because you haven't imported the terrain assets. You can do that under assets, import package, and then import the package terrain assets. It contains a lot of textures. We're just gonna drag our player in the map here. Good. So now when we have our map here, let's start with the sculpting. And before we move any further, let's just set our resolution a little down. We're gonna set it to 500 by 500. It's getting way smaller. Alright. Now, let's get started. First, let's try and go onto this tab, and you can see we can raise the terrain. This is easy, and if you hold shift down, you lower the terrain. You can't put it any further down than it is right now. So you have to like put the whole map up like this before you can actually put it down and create roads and all that. But there's a lot of packages for that. And if you try put on some of the different brushes, you'll see a very funny result. And just again hold shift down to erase all the stuff. We're just gonna delete all this. Yeah. And over here we can set the brush size, which defines how big the brush should be. And we can set the opacity. That's how powerful it is. You can see it's not as powerful as before. That was the opacity on 23. Now if we set it to 100, you can see it's a lot more rough. Now if we want to put the rough terrain down a little bit, we can take the smooth tool and smooth the hilly look it just got before. Alright. We'll just start by erasing all this. Yes, just pause the video if you want to experiment with this a little bit. I'm not running anyways. Alright, so this is the raise and lower terrain. It's basically the same, but here you can set how high you want it to be. So if you only want to have it to go to this point, you can see it won't go any further higher than this. So I can't go higher than this. But if I set the height any higher, I can go even further. Now instead of sitting here and do all this, we're just gonna take flatten height map and flatten. Alright, so we have flattened it now. Time for adding grass. Go to this icon, edit details, add grass texture, and we're gonna pick a texture. Just gonna search grass. I think this one should work fine. And you can see we can change the colors. I'm gonna get back to that in a minute. Alright, so now we have this. Let's try creating some. And now let's jump into our map. You can see we got a lot of grass. It is basically just squares, but oh shit, I'm lagging. Yeah, that's how the grass looks. You can set how many you want to spawn in the area of your brush. I just think I'm gonna delete all this again. Alright, so now you've seen how to add grass. You can experiment with that yourself as well. Now let's try putting some trees in. So we have some trees as start. We have a palm. Let's try and add that. You can see we can create forests, and you can also create like a nice Hawaii beach if you want. You just have to change the texture to some sand and all that. Now if you don't want as many to spawn, you can set the brush size down a little bit and the tree density. That's how many trees you want to spawn. You can see not as many spawn now as if it was full. You can see. Alright, so there's also one thing more. I think that is a little terrain related. That is, if you go under edit and render settings, you can add fog. I'm gonna go into detail with that some more in a other video. With that you can create like horror games and all that. But we also got the what is it called, skyboxes. So let's try go up here, import package, and import the skyboxes. And basically what this is it's a sky. It says itself in the name, skyboxes. So let it import. I'm sorry for my Skype messages popping up. I forgot it to set it on do not want to be disturbed. So this package taking a little while to be imported, but it's gonna get in. You can also download custom skyboxes. I saw that One Man Army put it some up. I don't know if it's old or new, but they looked cool. So now we can put up some, and like this is a basic horror one. There's a moon and all that. I can just show you a moon there. And let's try put some dawn in, dawn dusk it's called. And here's the sun rising, and you can sit there and put some different skyboxes in. And I think this is gonna cover the basics of Unity terrain sculpting. I'm gonna show a tutorial for a terrain toolkit, which makes creating terrains a lot easier. It's not me who made the terrain toolkit, but still I'm gonna make a tutorial for it. See ya later. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you liked it, and hit the like button.